I think Ogment was intriguing because it does altogether what several programs do separately, and that was one of the big things that I liked about it. The problem that I see a lot of teachers encounter on a daily basis is when they plan, they'll find something from Discovery EDU and then go to uco.edu and try and fluidly put those together, but there's no clear way. So inevitably there's downtime, there's this awkward transition in the instruction, which creates kind of a classroom issue. And so I think Ogment helps create that fluidity. It's a seamless transition from one site to the next, whether it's a video and then a song or an article. All of those come together from all of the different places, which helps create more effective instruction. So Moore Public Schools always tries to be on the forefront of educational leadership and especially technology. In my department, that's what I do. So whenever I heard of Ogment, whenever they said that they wanted to partner, I was like, all right, let's do this, because what I could see happening was actual professional development. Not something where they say, hey, here's this program, we've got some tutorials online, but a partnership and actually listening to each other. The teachers would listen to them and they would listen to our teachers, and that product's being developed out of actual need, not just some random survey. So as opposed to many other pilots that I've either been a part of as a teacher or now in the leadership position that I'm in, where it is a drop off and see you in 6 months and good luck. And Ogment hasn't been that experience with our teachers. It's been a great two-way communication. As far as the partnership between Ogment and the professional development that our teachers receive, it's hands down one of the best that I've seen, because it has promoted not necessarily the teachers to go to a specific professional development and learn, but teacher collaboration and to focus on authentic lesson development that's relevant, that's current, that's obviously something that they try and do on a daily basis anyway, but now they have a tool to make that more accessible. Yeah, I definitely recommend Ogment to other school districts, depending on what their needs are. If they're similar to Moore's, I know that what we try to do is eliminate cost where we can, and one of the big ones is that big textbook that we're paying upwards of $100 for that collects dust, especially when most of our teachers are going online to get the information that they need and to get the content that they need to teach the classes in a relevant manner. Ogment is definitely a tool that will help you do that. Yeah, so I'm the technology integration specialist, and one of the things that I always look for in technology is what's the outcome? Is it something that is simply going to substitute instead of using a chalkboard, now we're using an interactive whiteboard, and instead of reading, are we now watching a video? Does that really transform the way that we're teaching? Does that really transform the way that we're learning and thinking? That's what I look for. And when I think about how I've done lessons in the past, where I've had to physically get this piece of paper and then get this song or get this video, now Ogment has really transformed and made it easier to do things more efficiently and effectively. And so that's really what I look for whenever we actually talk about technology and learning. Does it actually affect the learning? Does it transform the way that we learn?
I liked the idea of organizing all of my teaching files, my lesson ideas into one place. It was just going to be a big space saver and hopefully time saver. Well, I like how from the beginning it's all about what teachers really are wanting and needing, and the team that is doing the research is working with teachers and developing it all based on what we will use. I know that we've changed some ideas based on our opinions, and it makes a difference. We're invested in the program, in the company, I feel. It's been pretty simple for me to figure things out, and if it has had a glitch, it's something that is being worked on anyway. So it's going to take some time for things to get worked out, but it's been pretty simple to figure things out. If there's a problem, it was going to get worked out. I I'm just going to be researching online, pulling my ideas and organizing by category, by lesson type, by class. I teach a lot of different classes, and sometimes I write my own curriculum because I may be the only teacher in the building teaching that. So I'm just going to be gathering different ideas. Well, there's definitely reward in teaching because I'm influencing kids that will influence the future, and I'm making a positive influence in their lives, giving them positive words that they can think about and take home with them, and I know that they'll pass that on to their children. And so, you know, it's not about the money, and if it were, this wouldn't be the job for me. It's about the other rewards of affecting people's lives in a positive way.
I think the biggest thing is the online collaboration, especially outside of the constraints of a building. Contact people from home or across states, across the United States, to be able to get that planning, as well as the ability to connect to the state standards and curriculum maps. What really makes me happy is the ability to have access to websites and pull that information that you like and know that it'll be there the next time that you log in, because especially with websites, you never know from day to day or even sometimes hour to hour if that content's still going to be available with the same link, or that it's updated or changed or just gone. At the beginning, not so much. The farther we've gone through it, the more updates, the more add-ins, I think the easier it's gotten. The walkthroughs are there. I mean, everything's tabbed out. It's pretty easy to follow as long as you're willing to kind of click around and know that you're not going to break it. Definitely. I think that's one of the biggest things that I like about it is that it's not build a product, then how can we fix it? Teachers were in from very early on. What do you want? What do you not want? What works? If this doesn't work, what do we need to find to replace it or add to it so it works for you? I think the biggest thing, what I would like to do is kind of start looking at some of the stuff over the summer so that it's starting the kids early on in the year with it, trying to teach a new program throughout the year or once the year's already going is difficult. Having a start with everything, or having the summer to kind of start building lessons makes it easier. So I think that's kind of my goal, is to have a little bit of a stockpile of things to start off the year. I try to aim what I do to the kids. Our goal as teachers should not be to have the kids learn the way we learn. We need to change the way we teach for them. They know technology. They've been using technology a lot longer than any of us. So if we're still using old teaching methods, whiteboards, chalkboards, overhead projectors, we lost them before the content ever gets presented. If technology was shown throughout, you already kind of have their attention just because it's technology before the lesson even starts.
I had a lot of bookmarks at home as far as things for lessons, and the way that they showed Ogment was a way to take all those bookmarks and put it into a consolidated lesson, because if I had a lot of bookmarks around, sometimes those websites go away, or sometimes I forgot, well, why did I want to bookmark that piece? And so having a way to bring it into Ogment and augment it, if you will, to figure out what I'd use it for the classroom and how it would benefit my students is a really good thing for the Ogment program. I like the ease of use, because that way if I go onto a website and I see something I like, I can just go ahead and click my little O in the corner and drag it in and then immediately tag it so I know what thing it goes to, then later on when I'm doing lesson planning, I can take all those pieces, put them together, and make a formatted lesson for my class. What I used before was mainly Microsoft Word or a word processing document, and then looked at my bookmarks and figured out what I was going to do as far as things on the web, as far as lessons. Is also I have a separate folder of documents for student worksheets and student lab reports and sample documents and articles. And with Augment, I can put all that together, not just on, it's all on my computer right now, but in a place where it's usable. And I think that's the key thing, because I have all this great stuff on my hard drive, but the question is, how much of it do I need for one lesson? It's not much at all. So being able to pull those resources and have them organized, so that way I can remember what I did in the previous year and see what worked and have a chance to tweak it as I go along is a great thing. I do feel like this is a collaborative effort. You know, sometimes we just had our recent textbook adoption, and they're trying to sell you the latest bell and whistle and trying to figure out, you know, what will appeal to teachers, and they have their little discussion groups, and they've already had their plans in mind. This is how we're doing things as far as selling the textbook, and this is all we have. With Augment, they've been the team's been really good about listening to our feedback about things we want to put in, things they thought were great ideas. We thought, no, those are terrible ideas, we'll never use them. They had a badge program at one point, and which, you know, is cool if you're trying to do stuff in a scavenger hunt or social media type stuff, but as teachers we don't have time to earn badges. We barely have enough time to get our lessons done, and that's what Augment's helping us do by making that lesson plan time so much more concise and taking out the fluff we don't need, and putting in the things we really do need, like ways to differentiate instruction, delivering content for students with learning disabilities versus ELL students versus advanced students. What gets me going and what fuels me to do what I do every day is just that chance to get those kids to sort of have that aha or wow moment, you know, that little light bulb moment. I remember in college I was an undergraduate teaching assistant and had a chance to tutor students in biology, and the professor was a great professor as far as the content delivery, but the kid just didn't get it that exact way. And so if I told them a different spin on the same topic, all of a sudden, you know, the eyes got big, the light bulb clicked on, like going, ah, and then the professor would actually come in, kind of pop and see how they were doing. They actually quizzed the kid, and the kid like scored perfect on this little verbal quiz, like going, yeah, I got it. So with Augment, there's a way to reach those students, because not only are you just giving them, you know, of course, the standard, here's the passage, answer the questions, we can also import video, we can import shockwave files, so that way if there's a game we can do online, they can do that too. So it takes that sort of static lesson and makes it more dynamic so it can reach those kids, because all the things I spit out in class may not reach all the students, but if they can see it from a different video, a different game, or a different aspect, that might reach them and give them that light bulb aha moment I'm looking for.